Hey hotshots, Jess with Emotional Fire Academy here today to talk about how to make fear work for you. Turn the tables on fear, make it work for you. Welcome to Emotional Fire Academy. This is a channel where we teach you tactical mindfulness so you can get epic results in life. I'm Jess. I'm so happy you're here. Welcome. Before we jump in, I do want to announce I have a new class coming out. It is called Quit Letting Emotions Bend You Over the Table. That might not be the final name, but I think it's catchy. I think it gets the point across. So this is going to be a 7-week group experience. It'll be with other people kind of going through this emotional boot camp and, again, taking your power back from negative emotion. I used to be there. I've done it all. I've been in the whole spectrum. So wherever you are, I can meet you there. And that's what we're going to do in this class. We're just going to take our power back from negative emotion, learn how to handle it in a way that doesn't block us from our goals. So if you're interested in that, I will put the link in the description box, and also subscribe if you want to get more info. I plan to be putting out, a ton of great new content, and I'm excited to share all this stuff with you. So welcome. If you're new to the channel, welcome. All right, so before we get into how to make fear work for you, there's a little bit of background information that I need to give you. And this background information is about your physiology. So if you're aware of the emotional fire triangle, we're going to the side of the triangle that talks about physiology, our bodies. In the book, How Emotions Are Made, I talk about this book a lot. This is kind of like, the book. So there's really only two sensations that our bodies, that we identify from our body. Okay, so one of them is called valence. Valence is how pleasant or unpleasant a sensation is. And arousal. So arousal obviously is your level of energy, your level of intensity. So there's something called, they put these on kind of a circle. And so when you're sensing an emotion, when you're in an emotion, right, the body sensation is just a part of that. It's not the entire thing. So when someone says the feeling in your body, that's the physiology side of the triangle. We also have the language. So what are you thinking in your head? That also is fueling the emotion. And then your beliefs at the bottom, your conditioning. So the body part is a part of the triangle. It's not the entire triangle. And recognizing that, our mind adds to this equation is really important. So let's look at, fear is in the center of the emotional triangle. Fear is the emotion we're feeling. And so how do we make this work for us? So, you can have different levels of fear, right? Different intensities of fear. So the arousal level can be anywhere from, low level anxiety to like really high, like I'm about to go on stage and I am terrified, So the amount of energy that is contained via our bodies in this emotion is a resource that we can use. So that energy, no matter whether it's low or high, is something that can be harnessed. Recognize it as just energy. Our bodies are in a certain state, and that state can be leveraged. The valence part, the pleasant or unpleasant, is really how we frame it. So that comes to the language part, right? That goes back to the language. So these are kind of strategies to reframe the fear and harness that energy of the emotion, to change it in the moment, to change our strategy. This is all about changing strategy, because when we change the strategy, we get different outcomes. So if you want to stop letting fear hold you back, if you want to use fear as an indicator, because that's all it is, it's an indicator. It's just a moment in time. It's indicating something, and it's a resource. It's providing some sort of energy from our body, from our physiology, that we can then pivot and be like, okay, I'm going to do this next. Instead of, I think the natural response, the instinctive response, is to retreat, withdraw. Fear means stop. It's not what it means. It doesn't have to mean that. So let's talk about the easiest method. The easiest method to make fear work for you is to turn it into anger. Because anger, when you think about, have you ever watched somebody get scared? Like somebody plays a practical joke on them and scares them or startles them. And that person immediately, as soon as they realize what's happening, it turns into anger. Like they get angry, they punch the person, they're like, I can't believe you did that. Like it immediately, because they're so close to each other on that scale, right? The arousal of, they were so scared, they're high arousal. It was unpleasant. They weren't sure what was happening in the moment. You know, they were having a trick pulled on them, or they were being surprised and they weren't expecting it. So unpleasant high arousal. What is also unpleasant high arousal? Anger, right? Anger is like, oh, all this energy in your body, and you want to, but it's an outward kind of emotion. When you feel it, you feel very compelled to action. That's the difference between fear and anger. Is fear, if you can imagine like a line of, you know, on kind of the emotional scale, there's an emotional scale, and the line is between fear and anger, where fear makes us withdraw, anger makes us aggress, anger makes us go forward and do stuff. And so if you can cross that line, if you can, you know, it's not a huge jump, it's a tiny little jump. People are doing it naturally, right? They do it naturally. Just like in that example, you've seen it. You probably experienced it yourself. You get startled and then you get really pissed off, right? So if you can tap into whatever the situation is and reach for anger, anger is actually a more empowered emotion from fear, because anger, you're inspired to act, right? You want to move forward. Fear, you're inspired to, you stop, you pause, you halt. You're not inspired to do anything. It's a non-action emotion. Anger is an action emotion. Action will naturally result from anger. So turn into anger. So if you have to get mad at the fear, that's one way you can kind of personify it. Be like, not today, fear, like, and feel that energy and transmute it just by reframing it into anger. Find something to get angry about, and you're going to naturally want to move forward. That's the easiest way to make fear work for you. Using that natural energy, the level of arousal that is already in your fear, and just flipping it slightly, adjusting it slightly into anger, which anger will naturally move you forward towards whatever it is. So if it's something that you are holding back and I'm like, I really should do this, I should do this, I want to do this, but I'm afraid, find the fear, find the anger, reach for it, grab it, latch onto it, let it work for you. So number 2, the most intellectual method. Now, if you're someone who is more, you know, in your head, more involved in all this, this might appeal to you, this method. So again, let's go back to, okay, you're feeling fear, you are using, you know, there's arousal is in your favor. You have a level of energy in your body already. You can look at this as your body is telling you it's ready to go. You know, your body's juiced up. Maybe it feels like, you know, the valence feels unpleasant, but your body is creating that energy already, you know? And so that is kind of what needs to happen next is your brain needs to get on board. Your brain is the part that is like, whoa, 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 this is unknown. What's going to happen? We're not sure. Your brain is that intellectual part that starts being like, this is unknown. This is unpleasant. We don't know what to expect. That is what the fear is happening in the fear, right? Your body's like, yeah, we got this energy. Let's go. And the brain's like, no, 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 no. We don't know what's going to happen. And then you kind of get the stuckness, right? Fear is an inactive emotion. That's what I'm saying. You get stuck because your brain and your body aren't on board with each other. So the most intellectual method to do then is to dive into whatever it is you're afraid of intellectually. So get your brain on board with your body. Your body's already like, I'm ready to go. I got this energy. Let's do something with it. Once your brain gets on board, again, you're going to move into action. Because whenever we turn unknown into known, right? We go research it. We look into more of it. We immerse ourselves in it. We get to know it better. The fear goes away, right? The fear goes away because that was the part that was holding us back, was the mind's perception of the unknown. So remove that. You know, get your brain on board with your body. Your body is ready. It's giving you the energy, the arousal. Get your brain on board. Dive into the subject. Immerse yourself. Get to know it better. And as you do that, it won't feel scary at all. It'll be like, oh, I got this. I totally got this. Go watch someone do it, whatever activity it is, or watch someone else do it. And then you're gonna be like, I can do that. This is a known entity now. Bringing that intellectual capacity in of exploration, curiosity, diving in, immersing yourself in whatever it is, the situation, the person, whatever it is that's, the unknown element that's holding you back. Get to know it better with your mind, and you'll be fully aligned, and then you'll move forward. There is no fear. We don't fear what's familiar and known, right? We fear what's unfamiliar and unknown. So make it known. Make it ordinary. Make it commonplace. Get to know it, whatever it is. Number 3, my fave, the highest payoff method. This is also a pretty simple method. I actually have been practicing this for about 6 months now, and I've seen huge difference in taking, I don't use the word fear anymore. I use excitement. So I teach this to my clients too. They're going to laugh when they see this video. When you reframe fear as excitement, any fear, anxiety, I'm about to go bungee jumping, that kind of fear. Yeah. I'm about to step on stage. I'm about to become something bigger than I was before. That's excitement. So that energy, I reframe that energy that I'm feeling in my body, that arousal level of fear, as excitement. I'm like, I'm excited. I'm just excited. My body is excited. And then I go with it. I'm like, I'm moving in the right direction. This is an adventure. And I dive into it. So I don't ever say to myself in my own head, I'm afraid. I say, I'm excited. I am thrilled for what's coming next. I can feel it in my body. I feel that arousal, that energy, and I am ready to go forward. This is an adventure. You're right on the edge of your own personal growth if you do this. Because that fear is like I said, you're transitioning to a bigger version of yourself. You're growing. Fear is the edge of the old you and the new you, in doing whatever you're afraid to do, or facing whatever you're afraid to face, and so greeting that edge with anticipation, excitement, and saying, I'm excited right now. I'm excited. I feel that arousal. I'm like, I'm excited. I am excited. I can't wait to do this. And then I go for it. So I don't ever stop now, where fear was an indicator and I would hold back and contract. I move forward because it's excitement and adventure. That's one of my core values. So I will move towards that naturally. I'm like, yes, adventure, forward. So comment, let me know if any of these helped you. Let me know which method you're going to use. Try it out. Let me know what happens. I want to hear your experiences. Let me know. I respond to pretty much 99% of the comments that are left if you know anything about me or have watched my channel for a while. So let me know. Give me a like on this video and make fear work for you, friends. You got this. Have a great day. Bye.